Welcome to Hannity tonight. He is a Tea Party favorite who many conservatives would like to see run for the White House come 2016. And with that comes extra scrutiny, even if it's unwarranted. But Texas Senator Ted Cruz is standing up to his critics. Late last week, after a request from the Dallas Morning News, the Texas Senator Ted Cruz released his birth certificate to the paper. And as they pointed out, quote, born in Canada to an American mother, Ted Cruz became an instant U.S. citizen. But under Canadian law, he also became a citizen of that country the moment he was born. Now, while many say that the Cruz camp has put this so-called controversy to rest, the paper goes on to point out that the Constitution does not address the issue of dual citizenship when it comes to running for the presidency. Joining me now with reaction, former Florida Congressman Connie Mack, Democratic strategist Steve Murphy. Murphy, are you a left-wing birther?
Well, he was born in Canada. We know that. He's admitting that. And he is a Canadian citizen, but he's also an American citizen. So, no, I think he's eligible to run for president. Sean, his problem isn't he's from Canada. It's he's from Mars.
Okay, all right. Save your cheap left-wing political hack attack for later. We'll get to that later, all right? Connie Mack, you see any issue here? Because it seems to me the left is dying of, they're flirting with birtherism. Now, here's a question. Does that mean that they're racist against a Hispanic?
You know, first of all, I think it's important to point out that there is one Democrat who will not be talking about this issue, and that is Barack Obama. And the left, this is clearly a media dump. This was clearly an opponent, somebody who sees Ted Cruz as a threat, that delivered this information and has stirred it up behind the scenes. I think most people in politics recognize what this is, but I enjoy the fact that people out there are highlighting that the Republican Party is a big tent. We have people from all walks of life who are stepping up to the plate with bold ideas, and Ted Cruz is one of them.
All right, let's go to some of the things that have been said about the birther issue as from the Democratic side. For those that said, why didn't Obama produce his birth certificate when he was asked? This is in part how some of the left reacted.
How can he go from flat earth, I don't believe in evolution, to all of a sudden I'm teaching biology?
Said. Why are you putting those words in his mouth? He's never said he's a flat earther, he doesn't believe in evolution. Those are your words, Chris, and that's how you would like to paint him to be.
Because that's
Romney
who he is.
But that's not who he is. Romney will paint his own picture.
Where's he on science?
Ask him. I don't know.
Where's he on climate?
It wasn't an issue in the primary.
Okay, let's go. Well, it certainly was on the Grand Wizard crowd over there. Anyway, look Howard. Let's take a look at this.
I resent that. Now, come on. Now, what is this Grand Wizard nonsense?
Okay, I'm just saying the far-right party. All right, I'll relax.
Ku Klux Klan, give me a break. You don't go there with me on that.
Okay, great.
All right?
Right, great. Okay, good. Thank you. There's none of those problems over there, all those birthers out there. Anyway.
The IRS is being used in exactly the same way as they tried to use the president's birth certificate.
All right, so the insinuation was, Steve Murphy, that anyone that said, all right, why doesn't the president just produce his birth certificate? It was never a big issue for me, but it was odd that they never did. And then he produced it, issue kind of went away. But the insinuation was that if you raise the question, that you must be a racist.
What was going on with the birthers was very clear. They were arguing that Barack Obama, 15 minutes after he was born, arranged to have a phony birth certificate placed in Hawaii while he was born in Kenya. The same people said he's the Antichrist, and he certainly would have to be a superhero of some sort or another, supernatural to do that.
All those people that thought it was odd that he didn't produce the birth certificate, you think that was all racial?
It was racial, yes.
Every person that questioned that was racial.
I'm not going to say every person, but yes, it was racial.
Then if people now question Ted Cruz's birth certificate, he's produced it, is that racial?
Who's questioning it? We're questioning whether the Constitution. People are questioning whether the
that are raising the issue of whether or not there's an eligibility question. And you got the right answer.
That's different than questioning the birth certificate. Nobody's going to. He was born in Canada. He was born in Canada. He's a U.S. citizen and a Canadian citizen.
All right,
Sean, let me say this. You know, I think what you see here is when Ted Cruz was asked about it, he produced his birth certificate. No big deal, right? The president dragged his feet for years And so the issue became more of the president's doing than anybody else. I think Ted Cruz handled this the right way. He produced a birth certificate. Everybody knows that he's a U.S. citizen, that he was born an American. And the issue's over. But the problem is there's those on the left who just can't stand it. They've got to come up with some sort of issue that keeps them going to, I guess, maybe to raise money or to try to fill a void in their own policy issues.
Well, I think he's a threat because, number one, he's an intellectual. He's a conservative, and he went to Harvard, and he has the backing of a lot of conservatives, including me in this country, and I think that he is a threat to the left. Steve?
He is absolutely a threat, and I'll tell you this, he is someone that when he's up on Capitol Hill and you see him participating in events or talking about issues, he's very well learned on the issues. He knows what he's talking about. He can explain it in a way that people understand, and he's a conservative, and that drives others crazy.
Yeah. It doesn't drive me crazy. I'm on the left, and I hope he's the Republican nominee because he's a hater. He's always talking about gays, and he's always talking about
hater? So if you talk about gay, what has he said specifically? Give me one quote that you can think of that he said that's hateful.
He has said that being gay is evil.
All right, by the way, the Washington Post, this is just breaking as we speak here, that he's going to renounce his Canadian citizenship. Does that take the issue off the table? We'll see. We'll watch.